Welcome to Inside Amusements, your number one podcast about yesterday, today, and tomorrow's amusements. With your hosts, Brian, Chris, and Eric. I'm Joe, the producer, and this is episode number 2. A Liger, Gods, and an Emperor. And now, here's Chris.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to episode 2 of the Inside Amusement podcast. Just want to start off things with some current news in the industry right now. So first things first, found out recently that there's going to be a new Malibu Jacks going into Lafayette, Indiana. So if you don't know what that is, it's like an indoor theme park. If you're familiar with Scene 75, things like that. And there's also some news coming out of SeaWorld Orlando, where they have started breaking ground on their 2023 Project Penguin roller coaster, which is going to take up a huge plot of land down there. So definitely keep checking back for updates on that. And then third, I just wanted to update everybody on Cedar Point's Winter Chill Out. I was just there last weekend. Some key points that I wanted to point out from that trip is the new farmhouse and grill restaurant, which is making huge progress. It's going to be a scratch kitchen with tons of outdoor seating, indoor seating, things like that. It looks really great from the concept art that we've seen. And as you may know, and I've talked about this in the last episode, Wicked Twister is gone. So it's an empty plot of land. And the only thing there is Wicked Twister's operator booth. So excited to see what's going in that spot and still sad that it's gone. They did release news about Top Thrill Dragster. It will not open at all in 2022. Sad about that. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see I'm wearing the Top Thrill Dragster shirt in support of that roller coaster. They are also doing a major refresh on Castaway Bay, their indoor water park and hotel resort. So the renderings and the artwork look awesome, and the progress that they're making it's a lot of progress they've made already. They're not adding any new attractions, new water slides in there, but it's just a total refresh of the property. A couple other small points from there. Subway's out. So there's going to be no more Subway at Cedar Point. It's going to be Derby Dogs, which is a lot of different types of hot dogs, and you can build your own hot dog stand, really. That's what it is. They're also adding a walking taco restaurant in Cedar Point Shores. So that is all for our update of the news this episode. I think we're going to head over to Brian, who's going to take us into our main segment.
Thanks a lot, Chris. All righty. So a Liger, Gods, and an Emperor. What do they all have in common? Well, they're theming to some of this year's new coasters for 2022. Looks like in the United States alone, there are going to be over 40 new roller coasters opening this year. And in this episode, we decided we're going to go ahead and rank what we think will be the top 10 new coasters this year in the United States. So we'll give our top 10. We may do an honorable mention at the end there, one that just didn't make the top 10, but just almost there. But we'll go ahead and start off with number 10, which is going to be at Six Flags Magic Mountain, which is Wonder Woman's Flight of Courage, which is a single rail coaster built by RMC. This coaster is pretty much like Jersey Devil and the other Wonder Woman single rail coasters. I think it's going to be a good addition to the park. I mean, even though it's a large park and these single rails generally do good at smaller parks, I think with their loading station, it may be able to hold up with the demand that will be there.
Yeah, they have the moving station, don't they? The rolling station.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good addition to Magic Mountain as well. What else could you... I mean, there's probably a lot of things you could put in that park, but it seems like they have a lot of things except for a single rail coaster. So that's pretty exciting for them.
Yeah, I have not had a chance to even ride one yet. I was really hoping that the one that was supposed to go to Kentucky Kingdom would have came to fruition, because that would have been an hour away from here. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to find another place to go ride one. But I hopefully I can get out to Magic Mountain sometime.
Did you guys know it beats they beat their own Raptor single rail height record by 1 foot. They went 131. Their previous was 130. I mean, good on them for doing that.
Well, Magic Mountain has to have all the records for them. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's always cool to see superhero themed coasters.
Yeah, those are more generally at the Six Flags parks, and they have the pretty much all the DC licensing there.
DC
I'm not sure.
Looney Tunes.
Yeah, Looney Tunes. I'm not sure if there's any other parks offhand.
Is there a Superman coaster?
Yeah.
Superman, Batman, all those coasters at Six Flags parks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the kind of the running joke, though. It's like when you say Batman the ride or Batman the coaster, it's like, okay, which one? It's like they pretty much rubber stamp them on all their properties.
Mm-hmm.
But that's going to be an exciting new coaster out there on the West Coast. But so coming in at number 9, which is going to be another RMC, which is Air Force One, if I'm pronouncing that right, down in Fun Spot America in Atlanta. That one is going to be that one is going to be a ground up, kind of like reminds me of Goliath at Six Flags Great America. But a little bit actually spread out, unlike where Goliath is kind of condensed all in one. But this one looks like it's going to be a pretty fun one.
Yeah, I think this one's going to give, at least in my own opinion, I think this one's going to give Steel Vengeance and Iron Gwazi a run for its money.
Yeah, that's possible. I think it probably will.
Just the elements on it that I see.
Yeah, they're calling it the Raven Truss Dive, I believe is what they're calling it. It's the first in the world, and apparently it's also got the longest 0G stall in North America for an RMC. So, I mean, they're definitely competing. There's one thing that I really like about this ride. The name of it, Air Force One, is actually a play on the family name that owns the park. I guess the patriarch that started it just had a huge love of flying, so that's why they named it Air Force One. I just think that's just gonna be so cool for people to walk through the queue, and hopefully they get some experience from that.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I like the color scheme of it too.
Yeah,
oh yeah, red, white, and blue. Come on,
it's pretty
gonna
cool.
be awesome.
But the kind of great thing about it is like all this that they're packing in this little package. I mean, it's only a $13 million coaster, and all these, elements that they're putting in there. It's like, wow, that's good bang for your buck there.
Yeah, I'm excited because this, if anybody's ever seen this park in person, there is nothing taller than, I don't know, like maybe 50 or 70 feet. So this thing is going to rise over everything there, and it's just going to be so funny to see this major coaster in this little tiny park.
Yeah, it looks like it's 155 feet. Yeah, and 3,400 feet in length. That's a pretty good sized coaster.
Yeah,
for such a little park. That's pretty cool. It's going to be a great one. All right, and next we have coming in at number 8. There's probably a little debate about this between different communities here, but Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, that is going to be at Walt Disney World, and it's being built by Vekoma. So this is one of the newer Vekoma designs that's made their way to the United States. I'm really excited to check this one out when I get down there.
Yeah, I think it looks really fun. I like the whole aspect of like it being partial dark ride-ish and then also a major coaster as well. And it'll be the first coaster to ever be at Epcot. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. They're actually calling it their Omni coaster. So it's going to be like if you've been down to Magic Kingdom and done the Haunted Mansion, your car is going to shift according to what scenes Disney wants you to see. So they're going to be doing that with this ride, but it's just going to be like, you're doing that on a roller coaster. So that's going to be interesting. And I'm going to say this later on in this episode too. It's Disney. It's going to be amazing.
Oh yeah. The theming is going to be next level. You know it is.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Disney in years, but that's the one thing I remember even when I went back in 84, just the theming. I mean, Haunted Mansion is still one of my favorite rides. And I mean, how many years ago was that? And it's things I've ridden now. I mean, it still beats out a lot of things with theming.
Yeah, I see that the Guardians of the Galaxy is also going to be a reverse launch. So that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Basically propel the visitors backwards into space.
Yeah, I'm excited to get on these new age Vacomas because everything we have in the States right now is, your SLCs, your hang and bangs and things like that. So it'll be exciting.
Yeah, the old days of Vacoma.
Yeah.
There's also a lot more to this ride too, because this is going to be part of, Disney's upgrade to a bunch of their Epcot pavilions. So you've got this ride, but they're also doing a lot of upgrades to the overall atmosphere of Epcot. So, when you talk about, theme parks and amusements, it's going to be such an immersive experience that, regardless of the ride, whether you like it or not, there's going to be something for you down at Epcot when it comes to this, pavilion and this new attraction.
Sounds awesome. All right. So we're rolling down the list here already. Rolling in number 7 is Icebreaker at SeaWorld Orlando. And that one is being built by Premier Rides. This one I have really not followed too much. I believe Chris has, haven't you? You followed the construction on this?
Of Icebreaker?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously it's been sitting there for a long time, finished and ready to go. Just with the pandemic and everything, the SeaWorld parks have pushed everything back. I think this was a 2020 coaster. It was supposed to be a 2020 coaster. Obviously a premier launched coaster. So think of your Skyrocket 2 models, Tempesto at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, things like that, but not a complete circle, and where it's a launch backwards, up a spike, and then, up a top hat and through the course. So, I will have to put out a big thank you to Midway Mayhem, who has been there every step of the way with videos and keeping everybody updated on this. So I've been watching a lot of his videos down for those Florida construction updates because, I wish I could be there all the time to take those videos and get all that footage, but he does an amazing job. So from the feedback that I hear, it sounds like an awesome coaster. They actually had to raise the height requirement on it. They were supposed to be a family-friendly coaster, but it's more intense than they expected.
Wow.
So, I mean, we have some premier launched coasters here in Ohio, but they're not the new aged premier launches. So
they're the original.
Yeah.
But,
that's going to have to be a lot of intensity because from my understanding, it's only about a 1 minute and 20 second ride time. So there's going to be a lot of intensity with that. That's going to be really cool to see how they, do that. And if you've gone on, like, Chris, you just mentioned, seeing some of the updates on it, you can go on and see the actual, point of view video on it. I mean, it looks like it's going to be a fun one, even though it's short. It's going to pack a lot of thrills in that.
Yeah. The vertical drop looks amazing.
Yeah, and I think the major part of that is that second launch up the top hat. It kind of goes straight up and over that with that little turn to the right, kind of flips you real hard out of the seat there. So I'm wondering if that's why they had to raise the height requirement.
Our next coaster coming in at number 6 is Emperor, a B&M dive coaster out at SeaWorld San Diego, which our friends at Ace just got to help open that up the other day. Looks like it's going to be, another great ride from B&M. I'm not a huge fan of dive coasters, but I think they're pretty fun. I mean, in a way, but it's just I don't know. I think they're just really short. But that first drop is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean it looks awesome to me. It's a dive coaster without a mid-course brake run, so it's a shorter coaster. Just watching the POV and things like that, it looks really fun. Lots of inversions, back to back to back. I like the color scheme. I wish there was more theming around it. I guess it looks like it's just in an open plot of land, which obviously you have. If you're going to go with like your top tier dive coasters, you have to think of Shikra down at Busch Gardens Tampa, which is amazing. That's my favorite dive coaster. So yeah, I mean it looks fun. I'd ride it.
Yeah, speaking of the ride time, it's only a 2-minute duration, so that is really short. Especially thinking about you're climbing the hill and you sit and wait just for that drop. So that's going to take up a good minute there almost.
Yeah, just like Orion at Kings Island, whenever it's a quick ride, all I want to do is get back into the queue.
Yeah,
immediately.
Definitely.
Need more.
There is a really nice overlook of the ocean and the surrounding area once you get to the top of the hill. I mean, they definitely put it in a place where you're going to get that. So I think that adds to the experience. But yeah, it's a short ride. I mean, it's a B&M. It's going to be smooth. It'll be fun, but I don't know. Just going to have to ride it to see what it's like.
And coming in next, I'm going to let Chris take this one. He keeps talking to me all the time about this ride, and he's so excited to go ride it. So I'm going to let him take number 5.
All right. So, number 5, everybody's favorite manufacturer, Intamin, in with Pantheon, opening up at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Today is media day, so I'm excited to see what the reports are when it comes back. I know that it's cold there, so it's obviously going to be running slow. So, today, take that information with a grain of salt, wait for it to be warmer there so the grease heats up and it runs as fast as it can possibly run. I think it's awesome. It's the first launch coaster of its kind in America. So really excited for that, with the backward spike multi-launch, fastest multi-launch coaster in the world, I believe is what it says. I'm not sure if maybe it was more North America. I can't remember.
Look out, Maverick.
Yep. Right. So yeah, Maverick number 1. But I think it's awesome. I was there at Busch Gardens last year, just seeing it sit there, and I was really sad. I just want to ride this coaster. Come on, open up. But yeah, it looks awesome. It looks like a lot of fun. I'm excited. That top hat looks awesome, and the outer banked air hill, outward banked air hill looks amazing. And the stall, which I know that we said, I think Airy Force 1 has the longest inverted stall, but this one looks like it is close to the same. I don't know. It looks like it lasts forever.
Yeah,
I love that they. Oh, go ahead, Brian.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait to get out there. I mean, Intamin's probably my favorite steel manufacturer. I mean, it's just the way they combine a lot of their elements. I mean, they just let it all hang out, man. They just balls to the wall with everything. I love it.
I love that they ended the ride with like that 0G stall. That's such a cool way to end it.
And you can, don't come at me if I'm wrong here. Not that I'm wrong, but my opinion is RMC has learned everything that they know from Intamin with their maneuvers and the things that they do. I think Intamin started that trend kind of beforehand, maybe not with the stalls per se, but the certain type of elements. I think that they've learned from them a little bit.
Well, hopefully we'll all get out there this year and we can give our review of it, hopefully get a POV, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you got to love those bush parks where they let you take your GoPros on the ride, so that's fun.
Yeah.
I think we just decided on a road trip right there.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also a King's Dominion right down the road, so there's 2 parks we can get to.
There we go.
Yep. Got to get my I-305 in there. All right. Well, we're winding down towards the top of the list here. Next, is going to be one I really want to go and check out. I mean, looking on how this thing is set up, this is probably going to be one of the few coasters that actually scare the living crap out of me. Defiance. It's a Gerstlauer. It's going to be out at Glenwood Caverns, which anybody knows, Glenwood Caverns is up in the mountains. So this coaster is basically going to be hanging off the mountainside. And a Gerstlauer coaster alone, that thing it's going to flip you around everywhere. So you're going to be on the edge of a mountain just flipping around. It's going to be insane.
I'm excited for the banana roll. I've never experienced a banana roll. I don't know why.
This coaster on the side of it. Yeah, on the side of the mountain, not only do you have the scenery of that and just the amazing theming of it, but, Brian, like you were saying, it's going to scare the living daylights out of you. I would agree with that because it only climbs 75 feet, but there's a 110-foot drop down the side of a mountain. So, that's going to be fun, but it's also going to get the heart pumping a little bit.
Right. It's a 102-degree vertical angle, too. So you're coming back in. It's like, whoa. It's going to be a little scary, I think.
We got to get more flowers here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Just looking at it, I mean, it looks like a gorgeous ride. The engineering behind it is just incredible. Yeah, it's going to be a fun one for sure.
Yeah, theming looks pretty cool too. Kind of a Western style theming.
Just picture it now, where Wicked Twister was a Gerstlauer Infinity coaster with a lighting package from what is it called, KIC or something like that? Who does the lighting packages on those? I can't remember. Some company, the lights light up the train as it follows it on the track. So it looks really cool.
Yeah, this definitely going to be a great coaster. All right, that was number 4. And I'll go ahead and let Eric take number 3 if you want to go ahead and take that one.
Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger. Dang. This is in Six Flags, Texas. It's a B&M. Quick note about B&M too. A lot of Brian probably knows a little bit more than I do, but parts of B&M coasters are made here right outside of Cincinnati, Ohio. So I think we all have a little soft spot for B&M. It's 150 feet tall, 2,500 feet of track. You've got 2 inversions, and it's going to go 60 miles per hour. This coaster looks a lot of fun. It is a dive coaster. Brian mentioned something about that before. There's a love-hate with the dive coasters, but it's a B&M, so it's going to be a good, solid, and fun ride.
Yeah, I'm excited for this for a couple of reasons. Yeah, Six Flags is adding major coasters again.
Yeah,
they're not adding the cookie cutter 40 free spins or anything like that. This is a B&M. This is a big coaster for
Six Larson
Flags.
Loop. Oh, I didn't say that, did I? No.
No, I think it's awesome. It's a really cool theme. I think that park is one of my bucket list parks for sure. Really, both the Six Flags parks in Texas, but yeah, I think it's amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait to get down there. San Antonio. I've been there a couple years ago. We actually adopted a dog, went down there. And the sad thing was, it was 3 days before the park opened, and our hotel was literally down the street. I can see the rides. It's like, I've come all this way and I can't go to the park. But I vowed to make a trip back there. So hopefully we can do a weekend trip down there sometime and check it out. All right. We're getting down there. We're at number 2, which is on most people's list. This would have been number 1 this year. It's about the most talked about coaster already, and that is Iron Gwazi, the coaster we thought would never be finished. And down at Busch Gardens, Tampa. It's another RMC. It's a conversion from the Gwazi roller coaster. I've heard nothing but great reviews on this thing. I mean, it's quick. It's a little quicker than Steel Vengeance, but it packs more of a punch from what I've heard.
I love their tagline, "The Beast Awakens." March 11th.
Sounds eerily familiar to a roller coaster in Mason, Ohio.
Yeah.
No, I think it looks awesome too. From all the reviews that I've seen, everybody is, putting it 1A, 1B with Steel Vengeance. Now, I've also seen some people still say that it could be, it's still tied for best coaster in Florida with Pantheon. So not Pantheon, Velocicoaster. So, it really it is your preference. It looks like it's awesome. And I can't wait to get back down there. There's a couple I've been there once, but they've added 3 new coasters since I've been to Busch Gardens, Tampa. So that's definitely one that I would like to add to that list. So if we're in Texas, we might as well go to Florida too, right?
I have to call my sister. She lives in Orlando. Like, hey, I'm going to come visit you. Got some parks to hit down there.
Well, number 2 and number 1 are in Florida, so I think we're gonna make a good trip out of it. I think with Iron Gwazi, it's a little over 4,000 feet of track. It's going to go 76 miles per hour. It's going to be worth it. And when you look at an RMC coaster, I don't know about you guys, but personally, I think they just look good. They utilize the space that they're given. They do a lot of interesting things. They definitely make sure that the ride is worth it. So I think that this is definitely going to be one, even though it's a revamp just from Gwazi, it's still going to provide a lot of new features for maybe people who never rode Gwazi, or they're just like, we were kind of done with that ride. So I think this one is going to be definitely one to watch for 2022.
And I do believe this Iron Gwazi was Alan Schilke's swan song. This was his last coaster, I'm pretty sure. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that it's his last one. So since he just recently retired.
Going back to the aesthetic. Yeah, that is sad. Going back to the aesthetic of these coasters, I like how that metal lift hill goes all the way up there. It looks like nothing's even holding it up. Yeah. And it's just, it's very ominous and very, I don't know the word I'm looking for here, but just intense looking to me. And it just screams like, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, I love their video on the Busch Gardens website. Of course, most of these trailer videos are just amazing. It's like, how can you not want to ride any of these coasters after seeing the creativeness and the shots that they put on these trailer videos? This Iron Gwazi specifically showing a bit of the video showing it at night, which is really cool.
And even the train, the design on the train on this one, usually most RMCs are pretty rubber stamped almost, but this one, the nose piece on it is pretty intricate with all the designs. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me, I don't know if you've seen the train for Conda overseas, the Intamin hypercoaster. They have the almost really similar type of creatures, but with like the alligator face. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, those inversions look awesome too.
Oh yeah, and how could you not be scared of something called the death roll?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to ride this, but there's a death roll. I'm not so sure about that.
Oh boy.
I'm going to do it, but I'm going to say my prayers before.
Yeah, I'm going to say this is the last ride I'm ever doing.
All right, so this takes us down to our last coaster at number 1. This coaster, I will give a shout out to my buddy Chris Werner. He's been waiting for this coaster for a long time too. It's been, I do believe, 2, maybe 3 years in the making. They do have the original one over in Japan. It is the Tron Light Cycle, Tron Light Cycle Run, they're calling it. It's built by Vekoma, and it'll be at Walt Disney World. This thing is just insanity all over. I mean, it just puts you in the movie, basically. You're riding that light cycle, just going through that course, and the immersion on it, you're in the dark. It's almost like you're in the video game, the Tron video game from back in the day. But this one is, I'm definitely, there's a coaster I'm going to make a trip for. It's this one right here.
Yeah, I would agree. And it, of course, is a connection to one of the greatest movies of all time,
Amen.
in my opinion. So, yeah, man, I would love to get out there and check that thing out.
I'm going to throw this out here. I've never seen the movies.
Oh,
I was just gonna say that, Chris. Like, I hope we're not just like kicked off right now because I haven't seen it either.
Yeah, I've not seen the remake. I don't really have an interest in it, but the original, definitely worth watching.
well, the one that came out is actually, it's a part 2.
Or part 2, right? Thank you.
Yeah. It's
sequel.
pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, I've not seen it.
So if we go down there and ride that, I'm not going to know what's going on. I'm just going to think it's a roller coaster on some bikes with light up wheels.
Yeah, basically you're inside a video game. Just think of it as that, like that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get you to watch that first.
Yeah.
But
Just watch the
movie.
We'll have to have a group hang out where we just watch that movie, and then me and Eric will be brought up to speed.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Joe and I are just showing our age.
No, but it looks fun. I like how the exterior of that building looks so modern and futuristic. It's going to fit in real great. And is that going to be considered is it Tomorrowland?
Yeah,
it is. Yep.
How smart.
Yeah.
especially right next to one of my favorite coasters, Space Mountain.
Yeah, I had fun on that. We went to Magic Mountain, not Magic Mountain, Magic Kingdom back in 2017 with my nieces. And this is my niece was probably, I think she was like 8 years old or something. This is their first roller coaster she's ever been on. So, just the Magic Kingdom roller coaster. So I put her in the front seat on Space Mountain by herself and she loved it. So she is a fiend for roller coasters now. And her favorite is Orion. So she loves Kings Island.
Nice.
Awesome.
But yeah,
If you've been down to Disney, like the car is going to be kind of similar to the Avatar Flight of Passage, where you're almost like riding in a motorcycle, kind of bent over for that. So it's going to be pretty similar. I think it's perfect for Tomorrowland. I love Space Mountain. I love the history of Disney. At the same time, I think a lot of people have been asking for an upgrade to Tomorrowland. And this is just a perfect opportunity. It is a clone from, Disney. I can't remember. Brian, is it Shanghai or is it Tokyo?
I think it's Tokyo.
It's
Tokyo.
Yeah, so that was where the original dropped. So this is going to be a clone of it, but I'm so glad that they're bringing it over here. I think it's just going to be such a big attraction and really kind of revamp that whole area in the Magic Kingdom.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, a lot of great new coasters in our top 10 this year. I mean, unfortunately, we couldn't go over, the 40-something coasters that are coming to the U.S. But yeah, we think these are probably going to be the best coasters to debut this year. But
just to throw this out there a little bit, these are in no specific order for us, right? And
right.
Is this okay?
Yeah.
So yeah, these are just in general what we think will be the top 10 coasters,
except for Tron. I think Tron's going to be the best one. Come on. It is. It's just going to be the best one. I'll get bashed for it. I know I will, but
you heard it here first, folks. Tron number 1.
I said it before.
No Iron Gwazi. No.
I said it before. It's Disney. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
That said, if you think that our quote unquote top 10, if we miss one, please leave us a comment on YouTube, leave us a comment on Instagram, our Facebook, any of our social media. Let us know what you think is going to be the top 10. We'd love to hear back from you.
But we also do have an honorable mention. And I think Chris has that one ready for us.
So our honorable mention is a coaster that you cannot find anywhere else in the United States. Anything like it. It is Palindrome. I forget the name of the park that it's going to down in Texas. It's a racetrack where the owner of this racetrack loves roller coasters so much he wanted to build one at his racetrack. So Palindrome is another Gerstlauer. I think it's an infinity shuttle coaster, which is going to go over top of a roadway and then up a spike and then back down. So it looks really fun. I don't have the specs pulled up here, but I just wanted to shout out that coaster.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be in Austin, Texas, at Cottaland.
Yes, Cottaland.
Yeah. Let's see. It is going to be a little over 1,200 feet in length, 95 feet tall, top speed of 51 miles an hour with 2 inversions, but hitting about 4.5 Gs. So it's, not a shabby coaster. I mean, it's gonna move you around pretty good.
I think the part that I'm most excited for is the part where it's going to go over that roadway where there's cars driving underneath you and you're flying over over on a roller coaster.
Oh yeah.
What a great list.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be a good year. I mean this year is actually, due to the pandemic, it's been kind of slow the last couple of years, which is understandable, but it's great to see all these new coasters coming out. Some years you have busy years, some years you have pretty slow years, but this is, I think, going to be a pretty busy year. I know there's a lot of coasters getting installed overseas too. Unfortunately, that's, I wouldn't say out of our probably listening area, and we're not international travelers, I would say, but maybe someday we can go through a lot of those coasters abroad.
I plan on visiting Europe and things at some point, Europe and Japan. So
yeah,
eventually
Japan is on my bucket list. My friend Sean Flaherty has actually done that trip twice to Japan. I'm so jealous of him.
Yeah, I think I saw the last time he was there with like Dan from Midway Mayhem and things like that. So I watched all of those videos. It looked like they had a really fun time.
Oh yeah. But that will do it for our top 10 for 2022 roller coasters.
Let's get the season started here in Ohio. Let's go.
All right. We got anything else?
I think that's about all we have. At least that's all I have.
Awesome. All right. Well, hey, thanks everybody once again for listening to this episode of Inside Amusements. Be sure to visit us at insideamusements.com. Like always, follow us on social media, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and we will see you in the next one.